Count it all joy, my brother, when you face various trials and tribulations. Whoa. Just want to give a little shaka. Got a little update here. Hey, things are like kind of looking up sometimes. You just never know. Sometimes it's just like getting those low spots. Plague sore. What are we going to do? Bam! Something's happened. Went on a few chats today. And I see people saying, every knee will bow before the king. And I'm like, a chat is saying that? And I just got here? As if they heard the message a long time ago and were like, yeah, that makes sense. And they actually read the Bible and are awakening up. So that's good, because there's a great deception, right now. And, the fog is getting really thick, but it seems like nobody realizes that the great deception is small. It's like they're like dreaming and trying to figure out what it is. But it's already here. The zombies are quite thick everywhere. They're mostly in the church. You just have to open your eyes to see it, because all you gotta do is do a little testing. Can I say king here? No, can't do it. So, if it doesn't pass the king test, you might want to get out, because it might be that Prince of Babylon, or that Sino de Satan, or the Horror of Babylonia. Those ones. And they've got a lot of churches right now who have this Jesus that boils and shit. Well, those teachers that been under that reign, see, they haven't been really talking about that shit part. They just don't want to say the word king. Because if they told all the churches, hey, by the way, that Jesus I've been preaching about, the rapture one, well, oh, he's supposed to be boiling and shit, but it's all good. Keep trusting him. Oh, and by the way, we've got a princely reign that we're planning with all these people, you see, because they're the real chosen ones, and they're just going to chop some heads off, and it'll all be good. Well, that's not the church you want to be in, and that's not who you want to listen to. So it's a good time to just get on the right page with the king and make sure you're not with that whore who might look and sound really good, but the problem with these teachers that, pass the mark, well, a lot of them, they're kind of like that Dr. Faustus who sold his soul to the devil, because everybody wants to talk about, you can't sell your soul to the devil. Oh, yes, you can. It just happens when you blaspheme and stop listening to him. Because, well, if you've ever been married and you have a wife, well, she says like 25,000 words a day, so believe me, I've lived that life. I know how it goes, and it's not always bad. It's not always whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that if you are married to her and you never listen to her, oh, and then by the way, it's not like the wife thing. It's actually the other way around, because the king is the groom and we're the bride, so we're the ones that are saying too many words, especially when we complain to him, because that's one thing, they wandered in the desert about, was because they kept complaining to him. Kind of like these people right now that are like, oh, these other races, we got to get rid of them. It's us, the ones that are the chosen ones. Just burn the rest of them up. Kind of like that Jonah when he was sitting there watching for the fireworks, but couldn't figure out why they didn't come, because, well, God had more mercy than he did. He's just ready for the fireworks show. So you don't want to think like that. You want to love others like God would want you to, like the greatest 2 commandments that Jesus tried to get us to listen to. But, love God right and your neighbor as yourself. Those are tough things to do, and we're the dividers and chiefs and like to be thieves. So it's good to know where you're at and where you're going and who you're with, because you want to get on the right team. Because it always sucks when the war comes, and it does say in the Revelation that the war comes, and like a Gog Magog scene. Well, it's gonna be ugly, that's for sure, but not if you're on the King's team. So it's just up to you to which team you want to be on. But right now, I think it'd be the winning team, because when the King comes and the war happens, well, that devil and his demons, they're gonna fight all right, but it's gonna say in like 5 minutes, boom, it'll be over like that, because see, the King's already got the bigger team and he's got all the power, so he knows everything anyway. He invented all the devils and he knew them before their lies, so don't trust any lies right now. Just get on board with the King, and then it can all be good for you real soon when he comes, because every knee will bow. It's not a matter of how, it's just a matter of when you get out of the fog, because you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, and there's a lot of fogs right now that can't let anyone see, let alone hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Be the remnant for the King, or do you just want to keep playing these silly games like a little kid? Well, that might be how you end up, like a little spoiled brat kid. It's a spoiled brat planet with cold blood and things, so it's just good to get on board with the King. Don't play no more games. Stay away from these zombified ones who don't want to talk about a king.